People don't understand how hard it is when you lose your hearing. It's like a death. Here today, gone tomorrow. When I lost my hearing, I was in such a bad place. I felt like no one could help me. I blamed myself and hid away. The world went on without me. Many people hide their hearing loss for far too long and don't seek help. They don't want to face up to it. I pretended to hear. Of course, this made things worse. The later that you get help, the more damage is done. I never even told my friends. When we talked, I only ever heard a bit of a conversation, then another bit, and then I'd jump in and talk about something else. They must have thought I was stupid. There's a big stigma involved. People with a hearing loss are sometimes viewed as lesser than others. It may seem like too much of an effort to break out of the cocoon, but it must be done. Help is available. I learned that I could take control and live my life. I can always get a good night's sleep, and I can put my mother on mute.
Meeting a colleague for lunch in town? If you have hearing loss, it may be difficult to phone for a taxi. You can always text them or email. The taxi man arrives and complains that he was beeping outside for an age. No bleeding answer. Taxi drivers are human like everyone else. They should understand if you explain that you have hearing loss. Sorry, Goof, I didn't know you were deaf. If I'd known, sure, my own ma is deaf as a post. No offence, sure, I'd probably end up the same way myself. €15.30. In the restaurant, the girl at the desk doesn't look at you. She's looking at a computer screen to read your booking details. How can you lip read if she doesn't look at you? She's getting frustrated. She doesn't understand why you can't follow her questions. Your colleague tells you the latest gossip from her office. She's actually whispering to you. People need to know that you suffer from hearing loss. Say it. I have hearing loss. Being assertive can make things a lot easier. Be yourself. Live how you want to live. It may seem stressful or a hassle, but don't settle for anything less. Be yourself.
Otosclerosis is a conductive hearing loss in the middle ear. It may be hereditary or caused by hormonal changes. A bone may become infected and enlarged, causing the bones to stop vibrating and conducting sound. In men, usually only one ear is affected. In women, usually both. There is a 50% chance of conductive hearing loss being fixed, and hearing aids work well with this diagnosis. Sensorineural hearing loss, or nerve deafness, can be caused by loud noises. The nerve ends in your ear are being destroyed. But wait. Forget the science bit. How can hearing loss occur? Medication can sometimes cause hearing loss. Don't ignore the small print. Listening to loud music. Don't think, oh, that can never happen to me. Noisy environments like nightclubs, concerts, football matches and factories. Using the lawnmower and other loud equipment without ear protection. Even just living near to a constant source of noise, like a motorway, can cause hearing loss over the years. Wear ear protection if you live with loud noises. If you feel you are suffering from hearing loss, talk to your GP for advice. Make an appointment with an audiologist. The longer you leave this, the more damage will be done.
When a person starts to lose their hearing, it can be extremely difficult for them. But hearing loss can also be hard on friends, on family, and on colleagues at work. If you know someone who's losing their hearing, here are some things you can do to help them. Hearing loss is not a secret, nor is it something to be afraid of. So be open with the person. Don't whisper, speak clearly, and try to make sure that the person can see your face. Your facial expression can help them to understand what you're saying, and they may be able to lip read. Don't shout. Shouting doesn't usually help, and it can actually overload some hearing aids. Sometimes it can be hard for people with hearing loss to hear in a crowd or to hear when there's a lot of background noise. Try to talk to them where it's quieter. Be careful when doing presentations or when working with screens or computers. Once again, try to keep your face in view when you're speaking. People with hearing loss are not mentally deficient. Deafness is not a brain injury. Different types of damage to the ear cause it. A line of communication has been damaged or broken. Be patient. Sometimes the person will misunderstand what you're saying. Say it in a different way. Use clearer words. People with hearing loss can feel very isolated, and this can make them feel depressed. Be positive and learn more about hearing loss. It's not rocket science. There are lots of websites, resources, and organisations ready to help. Hearing loss is difficult for everyone, and there's a lot of stigma attached to it. You can change that. Be supportive and be a friend.
If you feel you're suffering from hearing loss, don't neglect it and don't hope that it'll just fix itself. Talk to your GP for advice. Make an appointment with an audiologist. Early diagnosis and treatment can sometimes help to lessen the effects of hearing loss. The longer your hearing loss persists, the harder it may become to get used to hearing again. Hearing aids can be a huge help if fitted correctly and if tuned to your particular hearing loss. Every person's hearing loss is unique. Talk to family, friends and colleagues about your hearing loss. Make them aware of any difficulties you're having. They can provide help and support. And don't become isolated. Socialise. Tell people that you suffer from hearing loss. It helps if people know. Explain to them, I have hearing loss and I may ask you to repeat some words. Tell people that it's helpful to see their faces, that you can lip read what they're saying. If you miss something they've said, ask them to repeat or ask them to say it in another way. Don't guess. It doesn't work. At big meetings, try to sit at the front or ask to reserve a seat at the front. Sometimes it's good to have someone with you. They can repeat the odd phrase or word. In public buildings, ask for the loop system. Many support services are available. Deaf Hear, counselling. There's also help with technical systems, hearing aids and microphones. Remember that the people closest to you, your family, friends and colleagues, will want to help you through. Don't become isolated. You are not alone. Peer support is essential. IHHA, creating awareness, generating access and offering support for the hard of hearing of Ireland. Visit www.ihhha.ie.